We have all heard the judgment. When a woman leaves a narcissistic relationship, especially when she is a mother, society loves to talk. They call her weak. They say she isn't resilient, or that she simply gave up on the marriage. They frame her departure as an act of abandonment. But here is the truth that every survivor knows. The woman who walks away is not the one who gave up. She is the one who did the work of two people for years. She stayed until there was absolutely nothing left to give. You didn't fail. You simply reached your limit. You exhausted your patience, your empathy, and your hope, all while trying to survive someone who didn't want to be saved. There is a profound shift that happens the moment you choose yourself. First, the illusion collapses. Inside that relationship, you were living in a world the narcissist built for you. They assigned you a role where you were always the problem, and they were always the victim. You spent years processing their excuses. But when you leave, the fog finally begins to lift. You stop accepting their version of the truth. You start to see reality for what it actually is. That clarity is painful at first, but it is the solid ground where your healing finally begins. Second, you reclaim your energy. In that relationship, your primary job was mood management. You spent your days and nights walking on eggshells, making the narcissist the priority just to keep yourself safe. That is an exhausting way to live. When you walk away, that massive amount of energy is finally returned to you. You are no longer managing a fragile adult ego. You are free to turn that focus back to where it belongs, your children. You finally have the capacity to be present, to be patient, and to be the parent they deserve, rather than the person who is just trying to survive the next outburst. Third, and most importantly, you break the intergenerational cycle. Children do not learn from what we say. They learn from what they see. If you stay, you are showing your son that a woman who tolerates abuse is the ideal partner. You are showing your daughter that love means losing yourself, that forgiveness is mandatory even when the abuse continues, and that love is just another word for suffering. By leaving, you are teaching them the most valuable lesson of their lives, that self-respect is not selfish. You are showing them that they do not have to settle for a life that destroys their spirit. You are literally saving your children's future by choosing your own today. When you leave, the most profound advantage is the gift you give your children. You are modeling boundaries, self-respect, and courage. You are showing them that they too have the power to protect their peace. And then, there is what it does for you. When the dust settles, you realize that leaving wasn't just about escaping a person. It was about returning to yourself. That constant, exhausting need to manage someone else's moods disappears. Your nervous system finally stops screaming in fight or flight mode. In that new, quiet space, you begin to breathe again. You start to rediscover the person you were before the illusion was built, and you find a deep, steady peace that you haven't felt in years. You are not an abandoned woman. You are a woman who took back her life. You are the role model your children need, and you are finally becoming the person you are always meant to be. Take your peace. You have earned it.